In the introduction, we talked about what perfect progress is. Perfect progress is an easy to remember story of how to get things done. To begin the 5 skills, let's read the story again. After all, this is the story we want to remember for the long run. It's a well-known fact that in the longer run, people remember stories better than a list of things to remember. So number 1, sowing seeds. A farmer went out to plant some seeds. Number 2, hardened ground. Some seeds fell on hardened ground, but the birds came and ate them up. Number 3, shallow roots. Some seeds fell on rocky ground. Because there wasn't much soil, the plants immediately sprung up. The sun came out and scorched the plants, but because the plants had no deep roots, it withered and died. Number 4, among thorns. Some seeds fell among thorns. The thorns grew up and choked the plants, so they produced no fruit. And number 5, 30, 60, 100. Finally, some seeds fell on good soil and produced 30 times, 60 times, and even 100 times what was sown. So before we begin, I need to bring up one very important assumption. And that assumption is you already have a seed. That seed is a dream, vision, or goal you want to achieve or accomplish. I can't give you that seed. You already have to have one that is very clear inside your mind. The assumption is you already have a seed. All right? So the first part of the story, which I call sowing seeds, says this. A farmer went out to plant some seeds. Groundbreaking, right? Well, let me ask you this. Why might the farmer not go out and plant his seeds? Think about it. What must happen first before the farmer gets up off his comfy couch to plant his seeds? Got any guesses? Well, he has to first believe the seeds will one day produce fruit. Again, he has to first believe that the seed will one day produce fruit. You see, the farmer cannot only understand how to get the fruit, a process of the natural mind. The farmer has to believe he will get the fruit, a process of the spiritual mind. In other words, the farmer has to have faith the seed will one day produce fruit. The first of the 5 perfect progress skills to getting things done is exercise faith. Now, if you want to move a mountain in your life, and that mountain can be a vision, dream, or a goal, you have to first believe you can move that mountain. You have to first have faith that you can move that mountain. Because the battle for progress always begins inside your mind, you have to first exercise faith. So how about we take this even further? Perhaps you were falsely accused or unintentionally did something horrible. Perhaps you were fired from work or bullied at school. Maybe you were rejected for no good reason. Have you ever had your heart torn apart or filed for bankruptcy? Or maybe an unhealthy addiction or chronic sickness that has kept you down for a very long time. How did that make you feel? Depressed? Hurt? Ashamed? Insecure? Fearful? Doubtful of the future? It makes you want to stay on that comfy couch forever, right? The point is, these are all mountains to be moved. And in order to move that mountain, in order to make real progress, you have to first believe you can move that mountain. Despite everything you may see, hear, or feel in the natural, you have to first have faith that you can move that mountain. Now, faith is not based on feelings. It's not based on past performance. And it's not based on future probabilities. Feelings, performance, and probabilities are all coming from thoughts you might be thinking. They are only thoughts. But faith is not based on thoughts. So don't get disappointed by the sight of that huge mountain just yet. Faith begins with a simple decision. A decision to believe. It's a decision to believe that you can still move that mountain. It's a decision to believe that things can still change. That's it. Because the battle for progress always begins inside your mind, you have to first exercise faith. I can tell you the adversary loves to play games with your mind, making you not want to believe. The adversary is like a thief who doesn't give up easily, always looking for an opportunity. The adversary wants you to make your mountains bigger than what they really are. In the end, the adversary wants you to quit. For as long as you have thoughts, the battle for progress will always begin inside your mind. That is why the very first skill to getting things done always begins with exercise faith. Now, as you dig deeper, you will find out there are things you can do to help you exercise faith. The first step is to recognize that not every thought you have is yours. Many people go through life believing every single thought they have is their own, as if they can trust their own thinking. But nope, not every thought you have is yours. And in the next lesson, I prove it to you very easily. Then it involves controlling what you see and hear, what you say and write, and what you meditate on. These are things that you can do that will help encourage and strengthen your faith. Or rather, these are things that help remind you to believe. To conclude this lesson, to conclude this introduction, exercise faith is the first skill to getting things done, which is based on the part of the story, sowing seeds. It's the spiritual skill to believe no matter what your natural mind is thinking. Exercise faith is the very first skill because the battle for progress always begins inside your mind. Exercise faith. Be encouraged, stay fruitful, and stay productive. Thanks, guys. See you in the next lesson.